This is what happened to every lost Toy Story villain, Part 2. So let's start with the one nobody saw coming, the monkey. He has no name and no dialogue, just a musical jolly chimp sitting inside Sunnyside Daycare security room watching a wall of monitors every single night. And the second any toy tried to escape, he hit the PA button, screamed into it while banging his cymbals together, and had Lotso's entire enforcement team there within minutes. Or, as Chatter Telephone warned Woody, "You can unlock the doors, sneak past the guards, climb the wall, but if you don't take out that monkey, you ain't going nowhere." Yeah, terrifying. And somehow it gets even worse.
The monkey's the eye in the sky. He sees everything.
And look, I'm a grown man. I pay taxes. But if that little bastard moved inside my house, I'd sign over the deed and sleep in the car. But in the Toy Story 3 end credits, Sunnyside turns into a happy daycare under Ken and Barbie. The monkey? He's back at his desk, wearing those star-shaped sunglasses and gently playing his cymbals along to the disco in the butterfly room.
It's gonna stay this way. Oh, yeah.
Same equipment, better management. This means nobody fired him. They just changed who he was working for and left him exactly where he was. Which actually makes me question Ken and Barbie's hiring process. But here's what most people don't know. The monkey was based on the musical Jolly Chimp, a battery-operated cymbal-banging toy that has been terrifying children since the mid-20th century, and somehow kept getting produced anyway. Stephen King liked it so much, he made one the main villain of his 1980 horror story, The Monkey, adapted into a movie last year. Except director Perkins was told immediately something like, "It can't be cymbals. Disney owns the monkey that plays the cymbals because of Toy Story." A kid's movie about toys going to prison owns the rights to one of history's most creepy instruments. He got a drum, and Pixar kept the cymbals. Incredible. This monkey's ugly ass spent 70 years terrifying children, then somehow got promoted into a Stephen King story. And one final detail. The monkey's screeching sounds were provided personally by director Lee Unkrich, who built the character around a well-documented personal obsession with cymbal-banging monkeys. But the monkey wasn't the only Sunnyside enforcer who survived the regime change, because the next villain didn't just survive, he basically got promoted. And the way he cracked is maybe one of the funniest interrogation scenes in the entire franchise. Ken. Lotso's most devoted lieutenant, managing the butterfly room, enforcing the prison system, and welcoming new arrivals into Sunnyside's deeply unfair hierarchy with a kind of enthusiasm that went well beyond what the job required.
So, who's ready for Ken's dream tour?
Let's show our new friends where they'll be staying.
He dressed the part, sold the lifestyle, and initially followed Lotso without much hesitation. Then, Barbie interrogated him by threatening his clothes. She tied him to a paddleball board in nothing but his underwear and began destroying pieces from his wardrobe one by one. He held it through the Hawaiian surf trunks. He held it through the glitter tux. Then Barbie reached the Naru jacket.
Barbie, not the Naru.
This is from what? 1967?
The Groovy Formal Collection, yes!
What a shame.
Oh, no!
Gone. Immediately gone. Confessed that Lotso had switched Buzz to demo mode, revealed that an instruction manual existed, started crying. A grown man brought to tears by a jacket from 1967 in front of his ex, while tied to a paddle in his underwear. And people say chivalry is dead. Then Barbie disguised herself as Ken, went to Bookworm, retrieved the manual, and the entire escape plan was back on track. All because Ken could not watch 1967 die in front of him. By the end credits, Ken and Barbie are co-running Sunnyside together with a fully functioning disco and genuine freedom for every toy.
Don't you tell me that I don't care, 'cause I do.
Noses.
The toy who enforced a prison is now its most enthusiastic, democratic administrator, in better outfits than before. So I guess you can say Ken found his purpose after Lotso's collapse. The next one has spent decades dealing with a franchise-wide identity crisis that Pixar accidentally made worse before fixing it in like 5 seconds. Emperor Zurg. Buzz's sworn enemy. The evil Emperor storms into 2 with enough dramatic energy to suggest he might actually win for approximately 4 minutes before Rex knocks him down an elevator shaft with his tail.
Prepare to die.
I can't look!
Rex defeats the final boss by turning around too quickly. Absolute legend. And I mean Zurg. Then Toy Story 3 gives us an update. During the end credits, a different Zurg toy arrives at Sunnyside in a donation box and receives a warm welcome from the newly reformed daycare.
New toys!
The evil Emperor of the Galactic Alliance delivered to a happy daycare in cardboard, under Ken and Barbie's management, attending the disco. What can I say? By then, 2022 happened. Lightyear introduced an entirely different Zurg, revealed as an older alternate timeline version of Buzz rather than a separate villain entirely, and erased the father joke that had defined him for 23 years. Most of us weren't happy, and honestly, I think neither was Pixar. Because Toy Story 5 answers in its mid-credits scene. 50 new high-tech Buzz figures have just found their kids on a playground when another kid pulls a brand new Zurg toy from a backpack. Zurg laughs and announces,
We meet again, my son.
Oh shit, here we go again.
the Buzz Lightyear army collectively wailing, "No!" and their kids' confused reactions is gold. Look, I know nobody asked me, but I'm saying it anyway. The return of that joke was the best thing Pixar has done in years, in my opinion. I mean, they restored the original joke and buried the Lightyear retcon in one scene. No explanation, no acknowledgement, just Zurg back, doing the one thing he was always built to do. So, what happened to Zurg after the movies? He went from rooftop catch partner to donation box to Lightyear identity crisis to full franchise restoration in a mid-credits scene. The evil Emperor lost his identity for 3 years and got it back in about 15 seconds, which is genuinely a better arc than most characters on this list. And by the way, if you made it this far, subscribe before Zurg's purple ass climbs out of your backpack and announces he's your father. You already have enough problems. But enough about Zurg now, because the Buzz who played catch with him on that rooftop never made it this far. Utility Belt Buzz. And yes, I know he's technically not a real villain, but he did lock Buzz in a box and stole his identity, so I'm counting it.
Hold on! I am Buzz Lightyear, and I'm in charge of this detachment. No, I'm Buzz Lightyear. I am Buzz Lightyear. I'm Buzz Lightyear.
When Andy's Buzz discovered the aisle of new figures at Al's Toy Barn, he made the mistake of touching one of their utility belts. Same face, same voice, same memory supplied by the manufacturer. But a slightly newer belt.
Back in.
Will somebody please explain what's going on? It's all right, Space Ranger.
Then he kidnapped a man, stole his identity, and infiltrated his friend group. His shiny, belted ass counts. Here's what makes him interesting. He actually went through the exact same identity crisis moment as Andy's Buzz. The Zurg father reveal, the confrontation with everything he believed to be real. Except where Andy's Buzz eventually broke down and accepted that being a toy was enough, Utility Belt Buzz simply adopted the new information and moved on. Father, son, catch, done. He's essentially the answer to a question nobody asked. What would Andy's Buzz have become without Woody there to help him through it? Turns out the answer is completely, perfectly fine, actually. Happily throwing a ball around with Zurg and zero problems. Utility Belt Buzz never went home with Andy's toys. When we see him for the last time, he is on the roof of Al's building playing catch with Zurg.
No, I have a lot of catching up to do with my dad.
Good throw, son. That's my boy. So long, Buzzy.
What happened after that? Well, whether he eventually found a child, ended up in a donation box, or is still on that rooftop waiting for his father to make the next throw, Pixar has never officially confirmed. Somewhere out there is a Buzz Lightyear with a utility belt who still believes he's a real space ranger, completely unbothered, still on a mission. While Utility Belt Buzz disappeared quietly into the unknown, the next villains never said a single word.
Hop on in. We'll take you to her.
Oh, you don't have to do that. Well, okay.
Benson, be careful with our new friends.
And still became the most unsettling presence in all of Toy Story 4. And where they actually came from changes how you see the entire franchise. The Bensons. Gabby's silent ventriloquist dummy soldiers who patrolled Second Chance Antiques, kidnapped Forky, and chased Woody through the store without ever saying a single word. The reason is simple. Ventriloquist dummies need someone else to give them a voice. Without a person operating them, the Bensons move in complete silence, which, as it turns out, is significantly worse than anything they could have said. Pixar's supervising animator Scott Clark specifically studied the internal mechanics of real ventriloquist dummies to make their movements feel appropriately wrong. Loose, floppy limbs hanging almost lifelessly from the body, compared to Woody's warm, expressive moment. Same structure, but a completely different result. And look, I'm a grown man. I pay taxes. But these dead-eyed little bastards still freak the shit out of me. By the end of 4, the lead Benson helped the toys reach the carnival and then vanished entirely. A woman lifts the crashed baby carriage, finds him sitting inside alone, and screams. After that, he's gone. The remaining Bensons stayed in the antique store. So, what actually happened to them? Pixar never confirmed it, but think about it for a second. Nobody is taking a Benson home willingly. Nobody is putting one in a donation box and hoping for the best. No child was asking for one for Christmas. At least, not a normal child. The most likely outcome is that they were eventually found by the antique store owner and returned to Second Chance Antiques. Back to the same shelves. I mean, no one wants a Benson, right? They are terrifying. The Bensons did their damage in silence, but the next villain never shut up, and somehow that was probably worse. Lily Pad. The frog-shaped tablet Bonnie's parents gave her to help make friends in Toy Story 5, which immediately hijacked Bonnie's attention, got every toy sent to the garage, and spent most of the movie being the franchise's first villain that couldn't be reasoned with. Director Andrew Stanton called her an antagonist rather than a villain, which is a weird way to describe something that got Jesse's entire squad boxed up within 48 hours. Her best moment, and maybe one of the funniest scenes in 5, comes when Jesse confronts her for not listening. Lily Pad responds by recording Jesse's exact words and remixing them into a rap.
Rap has a rap. Me and the toys been working all summer trying to get Bonnie make friends.
First dance, honey.
So, what happened to Lily Pad after the movie? I can tell you, she's still there. Permanently. Living in Bonnie's room alongside every toy she spent the movie threatening to make replace. In the end credits, she performs the rap with Pizza, voiced by Bad Bunny, by the way, while the toy gang joins in. Woody left, Stinky Pete ended up covered in glitter, and Lotso got strapped to a truck. He is still, by the way. Check out the other episode if you want to know more about Lotso. But Lily Pad, she got to stay in the room she tried to take over. Whether Jesse has fully forgiven her for the rap is something Pixar has yet to confirm. And if you know Jesse, I doubt it. And before we get to the most important villain on this entire list, and trust me, you probably haven't heard this one before, a quick honorable mention. Because who remembers Dr. Porkchop? Ham's villain persona from Andy's imagination.
It's Mr. Evil Dr. Porkchop to you.
I know, not a real character since he doesn't exist outside Andy's playtime, but this technically makes him maybe the most honest villain on this entire list. He never pretended to be anything he wasn't, just a pig with a cork in his belly, a volcano lair, and absolutely no regrets. And since he isn't real, he's still somewhere in there, living a rent-free life in a college student's head. So now we have arrived at the last character today. Evil Woody. And no, not that "you are a toy" Woody. I mean the real Evil Woody. And this is the one that changes everything, including some characters we've already covered in this video. For Evil Woody, we need to go back in time to November 1993 exactly. Pixar screened an early version of Toy Story for Disney executives, and Woody was the villain. Not a flawed hero who made mistakes, but a genuine tyrant, intimidating the other toys, deliberately throwing Buzz out the window, and treating Slinky like a personal servant.
I waited Goodwill a long time ago, so shut your mouth and get them off the bed! Do it. Now, Slink, or I'm throwing you!
Poor Slinky. I'll come for anyone who touches my boy Slink. On November 19th, 1993, Black Friday, Disney executive watched the short and immediately shut production down. The team had 2 weeks to fix it or lose the movie entirely. John Lasseter rebuilt Woody into the character we actually know. And Evil Woody? Just like that, he was gone. Or so, that is what most people think. Because here's what actually happened to him. Evil Woody didn't disappear. He left traces everywhere if you know where to look. His original design was a ventriloquist dummy, not a cowboy, which means the character who became the franchise's most beloved hero started life looking almost identical to the Bensons. To me, the creepiest villains in Toy Story 4. Pixar decided a ventriloquist dummy Woody was too scary for a kid's movie and changed him to a cowboy. But then 30 years later, they built the Bensons anyway. Evil Woody's original face ended up in the franchise after all, just on the wrong side. And then there's Lotso. Multiple Pixar sources have confirmed that Evil Woody served as the direct inspiration for Lotso's character in Toy Story 3. The abusive tyrant who ruled Andy's toys with an iron fist became the abusive tyrant who ran Sunnyside Daycare with an iron fist.
Hi, pal, what you doing? I'm Tempest from Mars! Yeah, what's his butt? Say, you weren't thinking of flying.
If you ask me, you can definitely see that they took this Woody's personality and gave it to Lotso. But what happened to Evil Woody after the Black Friday screening? He became Woody. He became the Bensons. He became Lotso. Every trace of him is hiding somewhere in the franchise he nearly destroyed. He never appeared in a single finished frame, but I guess you can say he's been in every Toy Story movie since 1995. Just not where anyone was looking. So, out of every villain we covered today, which one surprised you the most? Which character, movie, or franchise should I do next?